gives the element of danger, the feeling that anything can happen. It can all go wrong. I can fall on my face any second. And that kind of gives me the feeling of a live concert, just how it should be.
Hey guys, James Wilson Taylor here for Rock Sound. It is Eurovision time for 2022. The Rasmus are this year's entry for Finland. I'm delighted to say Lauri's on the line right now. How are you, man?
Very good, thank you. It's nice to be in Italy. We are here already for 1 week, and there's a second week starting today, and it's been fantastic. I mean, it's so much fun to be here with all the other artists, and we've made good friends. Like yesterday, we a gig on the street together with the Ukrainians, with the Kalush Orchestra. We made like a mashup of our songs. So we learned the chorus of their song Stefania, and then they played with their flutes. They played our song Jezebel, and somehow magically those two things could combine, and then we were like jamming together on the streets of Torino. It was fantastic, and it was also a nice way to show our respect and love for all the Ukrainians out there.
Yeah, what a lovely thing to be able to do. And that's a kind of good place to start here, because I think what a lot of people might not realize, if they know the Eurovision Song Contest and they check it out, even if they just watch the final, this is a thing that, like you say, you've already been there for a week, and you've got this whole other week to come before you even get to the semi-final and stuff. It feels like a really kind of lovely collaborative experience. And like you just said there, getting to know the other artists, that must be a real pleasure. It's quite a unique experience you're getting to have right now, right?
Yeah. And it's like, for me, it's quite rare that I'm actually in one same place for 2 weeks time. I'm always on the move. So when I got here a week ago, I wasn't even thinking. I said to the guys like, oh, so good to be on this holiday. And they started to laugh. And I was like, oh, I just realized what I said. Like, I had this like a holiday vacation mode, because I'm in Italy, sun is shining and the food is good and the feeling is right, molto bene, I'm really enjoying every second here. It's just been great. And we actually had a day off, we had Saturday off, so we rented a car with the band, just the four of us, this tiny Italian car, and drove to the south to see this little village by the sea. And it's just so nice here, I like Italians, their, temper and how they deal with things. It's great.
Yeah, far worse places to be spending a couple of weeks right there. Really, really lovely time right there. Let's get into this contest then, man. So at this point, at the time of recording, I'm talking to the semi-finals in a couple of days. But of course, you've had a bit of rehearsal opportunity already. Tell me a little bit about how that experience has been going, because, as you well know, you're someone who's toured for many, many years, but staging a Eurovision performance is a very, very different kind of thing, right?
Well, honestly, it was a mess. Like, we've had 2 rehearsals, and they've both been so different. Like, every time the stage looks different. Like, I don't know what to expect the third time. I'm just gonna have to go with the flow and do my thing. But it was kind of hard because I need to go, we have this like a thing that I'm really running around the stage and behind the stage and all these places that I need to be at exact times to be there for the cameras and everything. So when we have these balloons, huge, like 2-meter diameter balloons and all these erasers and stuff, props on the stage, and they were all in wrong places. So I couldn't do my things. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to be a, disaster. But then again, I kind of like it in a way, because it gives the element of danger, the feeling that anything can happen. It can all go wrong. I can fall on my face any second. And that kind of gives me the feeling of a live concert, just how it should be.
Yeah, a little bit of extra adrenaline never hurt anybody in these situations. Keeps you going like that. And I want to dive back a little bit, before we get into track itself and everything, because it fascinates me that a band like yourselves are now, it makes perfect sense to me that Rasmus or a band like in your sort of genre would do Eurovision. A few years back, that might not have made so much sense, but things have really changed over the last few years with that contest, and it's really opened up to a lot more kind of rock music in there. Tell me a little bit about when that decision came to kind of go for UMK and kind of think, you know what, maybe there is a place for the Rasmus within this wider contest.
Well, that was last summer. I was writing the song, and then the idea of this competition came to my mind. I think there's many things that led to this moment. Like our fans have been asking for years already, especially UK fans actually asking like, when will the Rasmus take part of this? And then there was the COVID, 2 years of nothing. So I was desperately looking for a thrill and trying to find something fun to do and exciting. So this seemed like a good idea. And I'm so happy that we did it and jumped on the train that led us to Torino, because all of a sudden we had a plan, we had a vision, we had all these dates, we had a destination where we had to be. And that was such a good thing. It really saved our band because we were having a hard time. Pauli, the guitarist, he left the band about a year ago or 9 months ago. And then Empu joined us in September, playing the guitar with us. She's been wonderful, but also, it's a new lineup. So all of a sudden we had this challenge together in front of us, and that really has made us stronger and put us together as a team. So it was really perfect timing.
Yeah, absolutely. And then what stage then did you think, okay, we've got Jezebel here, that's the one to enter? Or did you write it with Eurovision in mind, or did you already just feel like among that new crop of songs that I know you've been working on, did that just naturally feel like, yeah, this is one that could really work for that Eurovision process?
Well, that was the only song, and that was really for this purpose. Like I wrote the song, the demo, and then I sent it over to the guys, and they said, along with the text, like, what do you say? Let's take part of the Eurovision contest. And they said, I like your song. Let's do it. I think everybody was just a bit desperate that maybe this is the end of the band, maybe we quit or something. It was really like close by. So it felt like the last, straw, or how do you say, the last opportunity. And all of a sudden, many good things started to happen. And now I feel like we're stronger than ever, like with the new lineup, with Empu with us. Fantastic. Like we're having the best time of our lives right now.
Man, that's so interesting. Like, I mean, it really does feel like it's kind of rejuvenated you guys in a way. Then, I hadn't realized that it'd come that close to being like, you know what, maybe this is it. But wow, regardless of what happens later this week, that's got to feel like a really, really nice positive step that's gone the right direction for you guys.
Yeah, it's been a good like a runway, and we have so many cool things coming later this year. Right after the competition, we're gonna have a full summer of festivals, playing all the time, and then we're gonna have a tour also coming to UK, playing at least 5 concerts there in October, November, all over UK. We're gonna release a book in September, the biography of the band. There's gonna be a new album coming, I think September, October, somewhere there. So this is really just the perfect moment for the band. It's gonna be so much fun.
Man, what a lovely thing to hear. I'm really, really glad that this process has kind of sparked something for you guys. That's just so nice to see. Going back to the song a little bit, I want to hear kind of the writing process with that one, because it's a big kind of anthemic type tune, but it's got a really interesting message there lyrically, and real kind of bouncy. It's got a big catchy hook, which is what you want for Eurovision as well, really, isn't it? Tell me a little bit about writing that particular track.
Yeah, it's lyrically, the Jezebel name comes from the Bible. 500 years before Christ, Queen Jezebel lived, and she was a bad woman. She was a murderer and killer and a traitor, whatever. But at the same time, she was very strong and independent woman in the world of men. She was kind of this feminist queen in a way, one of the first. Interesting character, and also she was very beautiful and attractive, so like a deadly combination of things. And also she had a great name, big song. So that's how we started the song. And it was written together with legendary songwriter Desmond Child, who's written very many songs that are super important for me. Like when I grew up, I was listening to Kiss, Aerosmith, Bon Jovi, Alice Cooper, you know, all these bands from the 80s have a big impact on my DNA as a musician. And Desmond Child is the man behind those songs. So it was a pleasure and very exciting to write the song with him. I think it became really good.
Yeah, works really nicely, man. No, it definitely fits well, like I say, for the contest, and I think it's what's interesting as well. You know, I actually recently chatted again with the Blind Channel guys, who of course represented Finland last year at the contest. Huge successful year for them as well, which is really really nice to see. But I asked them kind of for any rock bands who were gonna go for it in the future, what advice they might give them before they approach Eurovision, and they said something that I think you would very much agree with as well, which is that you've just got to be yourself. The minute you start trying to think like, oh, this is how I will adapt what I do for the contest in a wider sense, it's not going to work. You know, you can obviously stage a performance, you can obviously think about things that will work within it, but it still has to be kind of authentic to what you do, right?
Definitely. I think that's a good advice on anything you do in life. Like the older I get, the more I follow that rule, because it's like, it's the only way, really. I mean, I think I just have the confidence to say no to things, and like already achieved enough to say like no to something that is big. It's gonna make you guys look good, and then if I don't feel it, it's not gonna go through anyway. It's not gonna go anywhere, just backwards. So I think you really have to listen to your instinct and like feelings, and really do things that make you feel good. And whenever you write music, it sounds like, you know, selfish or whatever, but you have to love your music first yourself. You really have to shed those tears and like, oh, it's so good, and like really feel it. Then it can attract other people, and maybe people find it and they like it, whatever. But first you gotta love it yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, if you guys don't like it yourselves, then what's the point? You've got to have that as the starting point before you put it out
Yeah,
there
but
into
I
the
mean,
world.
like, because some people, like, if they have a long career, they might want to change their style because people grow up, people change. You know, times are different, whatever, like, you get new influences. And that's why we have been trying new things, trying different approaches in the productions, like exploring the world of music and sounds of whatever moods. And sometimes it maybe not be the best idea, but in the long run, it's just been kind of healthy for us because we've survived through all these years. We're still together after 28 years in this band because we just didn't repeat that same thing again and again. So it's like you really have to make it a good place for yourself to be able to, you know, take it.
Yeah, well, speaking to that, you know, I remember last time we spoke before anything had been announced about Eurovision or anything, you were saying you were looking to work on this new album, which we know is coming. What's the kind of status on that now? You're saying later this year to release, but is everything kind of done, ready to go at this stage, or are you still playing around with a few things?
Yeah, so I just got back from Nashville, flew straight here to Torino. I was finishing up the last two songs, vocals for those, working with Desmond Child again. Fantastic. We're gonna have so many good songs. The album is really coming together great. I think and I hope that we can release it maybe September or October, somewhere there. But it's going to be a really good one. I'm so excited.
Good, exciting times ahead. Well, man, in the meantime, you know, congratulations on this track. Best of luck in the semi-final. We hope to see you there on Saturday in the final as well. And yeah, just enjoy the experience, man. Looks like a blast, you know, and we'll see you in the UK later this year as well.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.